reaction to the number the judge put on you? It's a big number, you know? How you holding up?
I'm inspired. It's not about me. What just happened today happens every day in the family law court system.
Okay.
Fathers have no rights, period. So the bigger the ass whooping that I get in court, the more it's going to shed light on what has been happening since the beginning of time. This is not about me. I will never not take care of my daughters, whether I'm with their mother or not. I will never not. But it's not okay to call us deadbeat dads when we're hustling, grinding, traveling, doing whatever it takes to put food on the table and take care of our families.
And what did we say in previous dope discussions? A lot of the times men are marrying us and granting those things to us for us, not for them. So if a man is going to be that selfless and give you something that he really does not benefit from, how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? And what you're going to start to see is more and more men say, nah, I'm good. Ain't doing that shit. Unless or until, you know, these laws become more fair and balanced, right? Or until, I would say go ahead and include all of it, right? So these laws need to be changed and updated to where we suffer some kind of penalty or consequence to deter us from being motivated to divorce. Because let's be clear, you guys, the way that this shit is structured, it makes a woman want to divorce her man, especially if he's a man of means. Like, we are incentivized to divorce. Oh, girl, well, you know, if you divorce, you know, you ain't got to answer no man, but you still get the luxury and the benefits of having a man because he still got to pay for you and he still got to pay for them kids. And, you know, you get the house and you're going to get the car, you're going to get the kids. Like, you're going to get all of the necessary benefits and perks.
Welcome, my friends, to the RP Experience. Peace and love to my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have dropped a whole new video. Thank you for being here. Today's video is going to be about the Tyrese Gibson child support, past child support payment that he had to pay of over $600,000. I think it's almost $700,000, or either it's like 650,000. I don't have that number right in front of me, but however, it is going to be in the description. And Tyrese, well, they may show it when he is talking. I have a guest clip that I'm going to be using of Danica Marie, and I know I recently did a video of her. She slipped a little bit, but that's water under the bridge. I have a lot of respect for that woman because besides Pearlie holding herself accountable, she does, as a black woman, hold herself accountable for most of the things that she did. You know, even though she made a mistake, but we're going to let that go. This conversation that she made, I'm glad a woman sated, because this is how men are feeling, and I'm tired of females, women, even ladies disregarding it and saying that it's all in our mind, and it's like, I'll never do this to you and stuff like that. So anyway, let's hear Tyrese talk right now.
Tyrese, I gotta ask, what's your reaction to the number the judge put on you? It's a big number, you know? How you holding up?
I'm inspired. It's not about me. What just happened today happens every day in the family law court system.
Okay.
Fathers have no rights, period. So the bigger the ass whooping that I get in court, the more it's going to shed light on what has been happening since the beginning of time. This is not about me. I will never not take care of my daughters, whether I'm with their mother or not. I will never not. But it's not okay to call us deadbeat dads when we're hustling, grinding, traveling, doing whatever it takes to put food on the table and take care of our families, which will cause us naturally to be physically away from our kids, and then that get used against us in court because the mother may be more available than you. And then when you don't have a job, when you're struggling and you're trying to pull it together, independent of a pandemic, we get emasculated when we're at home and we're out of a job. So at the end of the day,
emotional damage.
we just pulled out the biggest light imaginable on him, his conduct, him literally making up things on the fly. What he did as a sitting judge was literally abuse of power, egregious, and all the above. And that's it, man. There is no such thing as a little boy or little girl without at some point mommy and daddy getting together to make a decision. So I'm inspired because I believe that there's going to be a law, multiple laws in place in the city of Atlanta that will refer to Gibson and Gibson. Your Honor, that's wrong. Gibson and Gibson, blah, blah, blah. And they'll be able to make reference to case law pertaining to what's going to happen. And I'll do whatever it takes and I'll spend whatever it takes to turn this all around. Not just on behalf of my daughters, but on behalf of every father who cannot afford proper representation or have any type of voice. So I'm not thinking about me. I'm really, really passionate about this. And just maybe God has created all these bad, perfect storms and scenarios for me to be a part of affecting change.
It seems odd that the lawyer gets more money than your child.
Yeah, well, that's $500,000
To the lawyer.
I had a prenuptial agreement. That's 2 law firms representing Samantha. The one and only check that she cut was 2.5 years ago for $7,500. And they just said, you don't have to pay us anything else because they were banking on a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So congratulations to them. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to turn it all around.
All right, last question, man. Look, you got to pay by May 15th. Is that, you're going to appeal that? You're fighting that, obviously.
We're going to do whatever it takes. I can't go into any more specifics. I've shared all that I could share.
Sure.
But, it's we're in a place, man, and that's it.
Are you prepared to pay it if you have to?
I could afford to pay what they're asking me to pay.
Sure.
But it doesn't make it right.
And as I say, prenups don't really work because they can always be contested, and especially if you have a lot of money. See, I believe the lawyers know that the father has to pay. Well, assuming that he has kids, but they know that the husband has to pay. So she, as the wife, doesn't have to worry about representation with lawyers because they will pick up the case because they know they're going to get paid on her side. Now, I understand probably in the past with probably, I'll say like, I wasn't back during that time, but probably 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe up to the 60s. Yeah, probably those men, those wealthy men, or maybe men in general was abusing their power in a way at that time. So the women was getting left for like a younger model, high and dry, and they was really left with anything. And also a woman with kids is usually somewhat of a struggle for her to start over with another guy, unless if she gets like a simp most of the times. Even though she can get a decent guy, but I always think she has to have either a awesome awesome personality, added with being like a good homemaker, or she has to be like very attractive or something. Then that can she can still rope some guys in, well, guys that have means and money. And I know Tyrese is a wealthy man, but see, this happens to men across the board. It doesn't matter if you rich or poor. This can happen to you. And if you're too poor, I think a lot of times women may not pursue child support that heavily, uh, because the guy might be locked up anyway, or he doesn't have a job, and things like that. But that's usually with like the low level Pookie and Ray Rays that doesn't become like a rap star or something. But the middle class, I believe the middle class guys, I almost fall into that part right there. They get slammed. Now, in my case, and I don't want to jinx it, this didn't happen to me because me and her made a agreement, and I didn't have a problem paying for my daughter. The thing was, though, once again, like what amount, because I'm pretty sure she has people in her ear telling her some ridiculous amounts. And I have to be able to live too, and I have to be able to work and pay stuff that I have to pay for as well. So fortunately, we came to a agreement and everything worked out. So it's not for me. I don't really have an issue paying child support, but it's just the amount and the fact that women could just divorce or walk away and then get a bucket load of money either way. And that's not counting if she has kids all over the place. Anyway, I'm going to have Danica Marie talk, and I'm going to try not to let this video run us over. So let's hear what she has to say.
The way in which a lot of you females are conducting yourselves today in regards to marriage, being married, right? Having families, having men to provide for you, protect you and your offspring. The way that you ladies go about being secure is going to land you in a position to where you do not have a man at all. The way that you ladies are going about trying to make sure that you're solidified, right? Protecting your womb, so you say and so you think. You're setting yourself up to be just that, of a baby mama or a pass around, because a lot of you ladies are turning men off altogether from marriage. This is bad for women. This whole Tyrese situation is exposing how bad off a man can be set up to lose when he is trying to go about things in the righteous way, not making a woman a baby mama, making an honest woman out of her, right? more and more men are able to see that this shit is a setup. And again, this is coming from somebody that is married. I'm a married woman. And I see this shit is fucked up. And I hate this, again, for our families. This is bad for women because a lot of y'all are going to end up in the baby mama zone or just flat out alone, because look at what y'all do to men that do marry you. That give you what you said that you wanted, right? Which was a family that had structure and a foundation to be built upon, and again, that stability and security blanket. That's what marriage is for y'all, right? But look at how we abuse that. How can the very thing that we're trying to use to secure ourselves, we abuse it so much so to where men are really getting up into this position to where they don't want to do it at all. What the fuck y'all gonna do then?
And she's telling no lies, because I am a relationship type of dude. If I'm with the right woman, I have no problem marrying her. But however, with what I know now and what happened last time, not to say it was so terrible, but when I retraced the relationship and how things just went a certain kind of way, and how, not to say that I was perfect, because I had my flaws and things that I need to improve on, but in her case, how she was just able to uh get away with certain things. And as we reached more milestones, as like getting married, then having a kid, it's like I felt like I had less and less power, and she began to act more and more like a bitch. Okay. And then when she wanted to go, she left with cash and prizes. So, and me, I remember everything. I remember when we first met and everything. So I know it's the same pattern when I meet a woman, and if we have a connection, everything's kind of perfect at first, but as we get to a certain stage or something, if they don't monkey branch to a better dude, that she could just leave me high and dry later once she gets like bored, or she just wants a change.
But the way that we go about these things, y'all turn men completely off from it altogether. So it's like, why would I give you that? Please follow me. This is bad for women. More men will say no to marriage because we use marriage against them. We use the very thing that we claim that we need in order to be submissive, in order to be mothers, in order to feel secure, in order to be happy and at peace. We use that very thing against men, but then want men to give us that very thing. It makes no fucking sense. And again, look at what y'all do to the men that give you those things. Y'all shit on them real bad. I want to ask y'all something. And again, thank you, Redbird. I want to ask you guys something. Do any of you all know what prompted Tyrese's ex-wife, or whatever the case may be at this point, what prompted her to want a divorce? Can anybody tell me that? We can hit 300, y'all. Y'all give us 241 likes. Can anybody tell me what prompted Tyrese's soon-to-be ex-wife or ex-wife? What prompted her to want a divorce? Can anybody tell me that? And I would bet you it was fucking nothing that was worth a divorce. I could bet you that. But I'm going to ask. Ben says money. Omnipotent says no clue. That's what I'm saying. Like Edward says he don't know. And that's what I'm saying. Like even the fact that we don't know proves a point. Right? This lets us know that it was not something that really called for a divorce. Look, here go Bella. Bella says probably nothing. She just wants his money and not his order. And you know what? That's really the extent to all of it. The extent to all of it, as far as divorces are concerned, is the fact that a lot of females see an opportunity to gain some kind of access, gain some kind of leverage and power and control over a man. And that's what it is. And I hate that for y'all. Because this is bad for y'all. Because a lot of men are starting to feel like the majority, if not all, of the women out there have the same playbook. Find a sucker that has his money together, that has some kind of power, influence, whatever the case may be. Get his ass to marry you. Then a few years in, go ahead and divorce him. So you can take half, if not all, of what the fuck he built. How a lot of men marry because it is something that the woman that he is with desires. What did I just say earlier? Earlier I said when it comes to a lot of these women's empowerment channels, a lot of these level up channels, a lot of these femininity channels, they place a great big emphasis on marriage. Don't do X, Y, and Z until you're married. Don't do anything as far as bringing a child into this world until you're married. Don't submit to a man until you're married. Don't listen to a man until you're married. Don't do any of this shit until you're married. I peep game. I listen in sometimes on what y'all are saying. There's a big, heavy emphasis on marriage when it comes to women.
I'm not sure about that one about women not having the baby before they get married, because where I'm at, I see a lot skip that. Like me, I got married first and then I had the baby because I wasn't totally sure with her, but I know I loved her and we went through a lot, but I didn't want to make the same mistake that my mom made with me. So yeah, I don't think that applies to a lot of people, especially in my community. But however, that's the way you should do it. Get married first and then have the kids. Now, honestly, you know, that's the woman's thing with wanting to be married. A man always marries you because that's something that he feels that would make you happy. So he'll go ahead and do it. But no guy wakes up when he's single and say like, I want to be married someday, or I want to be married. Now, there are some men that will see a woman and be like, I want to make her my wife. But I'm pretty sure that relates to his upbringing and what he's seen with his parents or his family or something. That's the only way that happens. Otherwise, we are not thinking about it. Y'all are thinking about it, and we do it for you. But however, though, do you want to get married because you love me, or you just want to get married because it's a status symbol that you can just throw away one day?
Yeah, there'll lie to y'all and say, oh, we don't want to be married, please. Again, that's just a cop-out to save face, due to the fact that a lot of these men don't see the value in marrying these females. But let's get back to it. Y'all place this great big emphasis on getting married. to a certain type of man, right? Oh, he has to make this type of money. He has to take care of these responsibilities and these duties. He has to do all of these grand things. Then you get that same type of man that you've waited around on. Thank you. It's the new guy. I'll read that in a second. Appreciate y'all. Then you divorce him? Let's make this make sense, y'all. Y'all do all of these things in order to obtain this certain type of man and get him to marry you. Then you do all of these things to get that type of man, and then he marries you, and then you fucking leave? What a slap in his face. Oh, you won't submit to me until we're married. Okay, I'll marry you. You won't commit to me until we're married. Okay, I'll marry you. You won't listen to me until we're married. Okay, I'll marry you. You want me to provide for you, take care of all the bills, take care of the finances, take care of everything. Got it. This man goes above and beyond to give you females exactly what the fuck you've been asking for. And then you leave. Is that how y'all repay somebody who does all of these grand things for you? And again, when you sit down and you really peel back the layers and you really peep the game, you leave for fucking nothing. Y'all are leaving men that are giving you everything that you fucking asked for. You asked for a provider, he gave you that. A protector, he gave you that. A leader, he gave you that. Again, what is the reward for all of the sacrifice? All of the hard work? This is bad for women. Doing men like this is bad for women because y'all are turning more and more men off from marrying you and giving you that stability and security that you seek. Fuck, I'm gonna give it to you for. All you're gonna do is leave and then take half of what I gave to you and built? Please. This is an L. More and more men are going to start saying, no, bitch, I'm not marrying you. You either gonna take me as I am or you can go around. What y'all gonna do then? Be a baby mama? The same ones that y'all preach against?
Now, I disagree here. I believe baby mamas really get a pat on the back most of the time, which that can be a hard job, and sometimes it's not her fault that she's in that position because sometimes the dude does just leave and maybe she becomes like a widow. But even if the woman just decides to just leave the man, is really no shame in that. So she's a little off on that one. And even if they can't get married, they will just try to get a kid. So it's always like a plan B. That's why I really I'm really telling guys that if you want to get married, if you think that's the woman, then fine, go do it. But if you have second thoughts, do not do that. And maybe don't have kids with her, like maybe adopt or get a surrogate or something like that. I mean, it's getting really bad with that because a lot of people seem to break up within the first 5 years of that child being born. And of course, there can be things that is the father's fault. But if I was to look back, I'm pretty sure there are things that the mom did. And when she's leaving, she's not in the wrong in any kind of way.
You won't even get the luxury or the privilege of being a baby mama, of being a mother, of having your own family, having your own reflection. You won't get that. Again, there's exceptions to the rules to where you don't want that anyway. But again, at the core of the majority of our natures, we desire those things, right? If we can help it, we would want children. We would want a family, a happy home. We would want that if we could help it. But the way that you guys are structuring this and the routes that you ladies are taking, you never get it. More and more men are being turned off because you rape them when they grant those things to you. What a slap in the face. You're going to leave me after I do all of these grand things for you. You're going to leave me and take all or half of what I've built and half of what I've done for you. That's how you repay a man. That's how, you know what, I'll give you what you want and what you asked for. If you'll do that to the men that are doing those things for you, what do you think the other men around you are looking at and thinking? Like, damn, he did all that for you and you left him. Why? Again, I'm waiting on somebody to tell me why she filed for divorce. Why is it that Tyrese's ex-wife or soon to be ex-wife, why did she file for divorce? Does anybody know? And the fact alone that we don't know speaks volumes. Was he whooping her ass? Like, what was going on? We don't know. From what I've saw, or what I've seen, she was like, oh, well, I learned a lot within our 4 years of being married. And, I just want to be friends now. What the fuck? So clearly and obviously, whatever happened or occurred was not that bad for her to still want to be friends. Make it make sense for me.
And this is what I was trying to say in some of my videos that women don't get, and they may never get, or either they're playing dumb and they just don't care, is y'all have that much power in a marriage to just blow it up just when you feel like it, just because you're not feeling the butterflies no more. You're feeling it with somebody else. You just want to change or something like that. A man doesn't have that. See, it's a penalty there if he decides to take and do it. And with the Tyrese Gibson thing, it's a possibility that he did cheat. But however, though, I'm not seeing that. It's like the same thing with Tia Mari. What her name is, Tia. When she decided to leave, she didn't say that was infidelity. She just wanted a change and she wanted to graduate. So, I mean, as a man, I can't do that because it's a stiff penalty. But for women, there is no stiff penalty. So I think that a lot of you will just leave when you just feel like it.
I see what goes on behind the scenes. Women don't want to be baby mamas. Not at all. Not even to a rich man. That is not the goal. The goal is to be married. For whatever superficial or official reason. Right? But at the end of the day, that's the goal. So, what's going to happen when more and more men start to see that this shit is a game to y'all? This is a money grab to y'all. You're going to bring forth and manifest the very reality that you reject and you despise, which is baby mama-ism. Because guess what, bitch? I'm not marrying you. Can I even go as far as saying this? It is in our nature as women to have families, right? Now, there are exceptions to that rule to where, look, I don't want children. I don't want to be settled down. I don't want a man. I want to be able to be free. And there's exceptions, but at the core of majority, if not, I'm not going to say all, because again, it's exceptions, but at the core of majority of our natures, it is to have a family, right? And so with the way that the world is going today, and with the amount of disrespect and emasculation that is taking place as it pertains to marriages and relationships today, more and more of you females will not even get to be a baby mama. Because guys have also peeped the game on that. That's also a money grab. If not the money grab. And like I said, thanks again, Charles. I'm going to read all that in a second, Charles. I appreciate it. I just don't want to lose my train of thought. So with that said, you guys, more and more of us women of today will not be able to experience the joys of what our very nature calls for, which is love, a family, commitment, stability, security, protection. We won't get to experience none of that shit because we abuse the men that give it to us. When it comes to marriage, shouldn't it be till death do you part? Through sickness and through health, richer or poorer? What the fuck is going on? It's not until I get bored and until I feel like I learned enough. It's supposed to be a lifelong thing. Let me go ahead and say this, y'all. Because when it comes to men and getting married, there's way more risk involved. I feel like when it comes to marriage, there needs to be something on the woman's end to where, if things go astray or if things fall apart or if she wants a divorce or a divorce occurs or he wants a divorce, whatever the case may be, it needs to be something set in motion and set into place to where we have some kind of backlash on us. It can't just be this one-sided win-win. And I feel if we had more balance in that way when it came to marriage, I feel like more men would be more likely to get married. But with women being able to use and abuse men in the way that they are able to use and abuse men, it's like, oh hell no, I don't even want to do it. The odds are against me tremendously and terribly, while she has no real risk involved. It needs to be something set in motion to where, both parties will be held to some degree of a punishment, a penalty. Something has to be set in place because this shit is out of control. It's out of hand. And if we do not, as women, start to fight for some kind of balance within relationships and marriages are concerned, I feel sorry for y'all because a lot of y'all are going to be alone. Y'all gonna be baby mamas. Y'all gonna be single mothers. Y'all gonna be by y'all motherfucking selves because more and more men are gonna be like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that. What's her penalty? So I'm expected to provide, protect, lead, teach, make sure that the foundation is set, make sure that she's secure and happy, at peace. I'm expected to do all of that. Fulfill all of these responsibilities, all these obligations. And I can do all of those things. And she can still leave me and I'm on the losing end of the stick. Are you fucking for real? Hell no. More and more men are gearing towards, hell no, I'm not getting married. Then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get married. Because again, look at all of the energy that they have to put into the relationship, put into the marriage to make it last. And even if they do all those things to make it last, they can still end up being divorced and left, and she takes all, if not half. So I feel, ladies, if more of y'all want to guard your wombs and make sure that you're safe and protected, and you want to be married before you carry, if y'all are really about that life, y'all need to start fighting for some kind of equality during divorces to prevent your ass from doing it. Because how you going to fight so hard to be married and then it takes nothing for you to want to be unmarried? No, something needs to be set in motion. Because let me put it like this. Men are like, bitch, I went through all of this struggle, all of this fight to get married to you, to give you the very thing that you said that you needed. Then within a matter of 5 years or less, 10 years or less, you're done for no good reason. Again, can somebody tell me why Tyrese's ex-wife wants a divorce? Does anybody know? No? Okay. So that means she just woke up one day like, I'm done with this shit.
Your last breakup, was it your fault or theirs?
Theirs, because they were boring me.
They were boring you?
Yeah.
What made them boring?
You know when they're just like really nice all the time and they just do whatever you want?
So like a yes man?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Was he supportive?
Yeah,
And he was there for you?
yeah,
Was he loyal?
yeah.
Isn't that what matters?
Yeah, but I don't want to be bored in a relationship.
You don't wanna be
because
bored?
I'm not fully into it.
Now, she says some very important stuff right there. And I said it throughout some of my videos talking about marriage and divorce. But as I said one time, with a woman, it doesn't matter if she marries a good guy or a bad guy, as long as he has money. With a woman, and with the qualities of like y'all supposed to be able to behave any kind of way. I'm supposed to accept you any kind of way, that I can get done in by a bad woman or a good woman that decides to turn bad. But as long as he has resources and money, a woman can still walk away as a winner. One thing that she said that I thought about, but I kind of didn't know how to do it, is that yes, it should be a penalty for women that want to leave too. See, marriage is supposed to be death to you part. You know, I believe that women just go into it whimsical and they can leave whimsical as well. You know, men is not so easy with that. So, a sense, we are strong, independent women these days. They need to tweak that and have a penalty for a woman. Like, I'm not sure, like maybe automatic 50 custody. Even though I know with child support, they are taking the child's welfare in account right there. I guess lower it to an extent that he has to give money to the mom, maybe half of what he's supposed to give to her. But however, though, the rest of the money he can personally give to the child to also make sure it's going to the child or something. Like maybe, okay, the other part of the money is going into a trust fund for the child specifically. That way, when the child gets older, they're not pissed off and saying their dad is a deadbeat because the mom took and swallowed all of the money. Even though I know like his bills and stuff like that, but I do think a lot abuse that particular power right there. Trying to see, fair penalties or something like that. But it has to be something so that a woman doesn't think of divorce so easily, you know?
Again, ladies, if y'all really want to marry before you carry, you want to guard your womb, and you want to be secure and stable, and you want the ring and all of this, y'all gonna have to do something different. Because more and more men are like, this is some bogus shit. Okay? Again, What is your penalty for a divorce as a woman? You get a win-win within the marriage and a win-win outside the marriage. I don't. Thank you, Tokyo. I'm going to read all of that, y'all. I'm just, hold on. I'm in my bag real quick. Give me a minute. But when you talk like that, it's like, hell nah. You know, well, I already put my life on the line when I get that man his babies. You know, I already got to sacrifice X, Y, and Z for that man. You wanted that damn baby. Again, what did I just say, y'all? When it comes to women, thank you, Pearls. Hold on. When it comes to women in our nature, females in our nature, a grand majority of us, we are the ones that desire babies, love, relationship. Come on. You put your life on the line. You put your body on the line for your baby. You wanted the damn baby. And when I say damn baby, I'm just being silly. I don't mean to call y'all babies, damn babies. Come on now. Don't do that. Babies are beautiful. Okay.
And that's another thing too. Majority of the time, the woman wants the baby. Now, there are men that like, I want a son or something like that, but I know when I had a child, I wasn't hell bent on having a child. Like, what if I got involved with a woman that could not have kids, but we got along fine, great, everything was just perfect. It's just she could not have kids. I wouldn't throw her away. I probably would say like, well, if she really wants kids, then we can adopt or something. I never had that thing of like I want to keep the legacy going. Now, I understand once you become like rich and wealthy, you want somebody to pass on your money too. So probably once I start getting serious money, then I probably will think of that like a lot more. But I know at the time I really wasn't thinking of that. And once again, this is the things that get flipped around when a woman is leaving and saying something, not that mine say it, but I'll hear women say like, well, well, you made me have babies or things like that, knowing damn well she probably was the one that wanted to have babies. Not to say there are not men that may force a woman. Usually a man's thing is maybe he wants like 5 kids and maybe she just wants 1 or 2. Now, that's when sometimes the guy's thing comes into play.
No, I'm not doing that. So it would make us choose better as well. Right? We would stop placing all of these superficial values on marriage. We would think long and hard, okay, do I want to get married? Because if I get married, I can't really leave, because if I get a divorce, this, that, and the third is going to happen to me as a woman. That needs to happen. That needs to happen, y'all, period. If it doesn't, I don't know. This is bad for women because y'all are abusing the fuck out the system. And the men that are, once again, trying to grant you with the things that you're asking for. What a slap in the face. It's already something that is set up against him, and he's going to give it to you anyway, and you still do him dirty? Oh.
She made a lot of great points, and I think it was just one more that I missed, but I did not want this video to go over an hour, and I want to have my last word right here. Thanks, Danica, for being honest and showing that you see the man's perspective and trying to talk to the women. I think that's going to fall on deaf ears on most of them. The thing is, I look at it this way. Try to educate men, and maybe by the actions that men are making, then maybe the light bulb will go off and women's heads to not be doing certain stuff. Personally, I don't think no woman is going to really fight for, well, I'm not going to say none, because I'm pretty sure there are some that's getting this information and is feeling a certain kind of way, but I don't think many of them are going to stand for like laws being changed to penalize them. So until that happens, which it probably wouldn't never happen, men need to move differently now. You know, like I say, if you love a woman, you think she's worth it, go ahead and marry her. However, if that doesn't work out, and pretty much I'm going to pick, I'm going to think that you pick the best person that you could pick, and that you thought she was the one and she performed perfectly until it wasn't working no more. And that's one thing too. While I don't think people can get easily divorced, I also think it's less incentive for a woman to behave in a relationship once you reach certain milestones that she has all the cards and all of the power. Then she can behave any kind of way. I mean, she can actually try to force you to divorce her by acting all kinds of ways. And maybe this wasn't the case. Maybe 50, 70, 100 years ago, maybe women were more pure-hearted and innocent, but however, though, not today. The modern women is cutthroat and savage. You know, y'all are as bad as the men that you are trying to emulate. And the men you are trying to emulate is Pooties and Ray Rays, players, the bad Chads and Tyrones, because I'm pretty sure there are some good Chads and Tyrones out there. But the men that are running through y'all are taking that out on all the average guys. You know, either the average guys or the men that's jumping through hoops for you. This is why I don't think it should be simping on a man's part, unless if she's simping too and it's mutual simping. Anyway, that's it. Hope you guys watched most of this video. I should have one coming a little later this week, because usually after Monday I take a little break, but I will have shorts coming out to try to keep my numbers up. So anyway, that's it, and have a good night. Well, or a good day, depending on when you see this video.
I still wanna run to you. Am I breaking through? Do you feel me too? Pando made it. I still wanna run to you.